Warning: the following program may contain language and other elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. You've been fucking warned.
I'm gonna put a little salt in the atmosphere. I'm gonna make your mouth perspire. I'm gonna make a little treat guaranteed to be sweet. I'm gonna teach you how to dance with fire. Yeah, baby, let's get dishing. Step into my nutrition kitchen.
Hey guys, Johnny Farrow here, and welcome to another episode of Musician Kitchen. How did you like that intro music and that intro montage? I worked really hard on that. I hope you loved it. Let me know in the comments below how you dug my new intro. I'm super fucking pumped about it myself, in case you couldn't tell. So today, we are going to be making a killer tomato basil hummus. This is a really awesome, super easy. It's kind of like throw a bunch of shit in a blender and then serve it kind of a dish. Really nice light snack for the summertime or for any time of the year, really. So here's our ingredients here. We got garbanzo beans, black beans. We got diced fire roasted tomatoes. We got tahini, fresh basil, fresh lime, fresh garlic, balsamic vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, and whatever chip you like to dip with. All right, to get started here, guys, I'm just going to kind of take the lids off of all my cans here just to kind of get that rolling. And what I'll do with my beans, my garbanzo beans and my black beans, is I'll throw them in a colander or a strainer, just to kind of get them, kind of just get them draining. I don't necessarily want to be like bone dry, but I do like to have at least the majority of the juice gone, otherwise you'll end up with an extra runny hummus, and that's just not how I roll, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to speed this part up for you a little bit because it's pretty fucking boring to watch me open a can. Alright guys, so we got our beans all in here, and I'm not going to wait for them to like drain a lot. I'm just going to kind of shake off, a bunch of the excess moisture, and then we're going to get Mr. Blender Pitcher. By the way, this is a Ninja blender. It did come with like a food processor attachment. It got fucking broken. Bummer, right? But you can totally do this in a blender too, and it will work. So I'm just going to get this, without making a mess if I can help it, get all my beans in here. And I'm totally fucking splooging all over the place, so whatever. It's a kitchen. Messes get made, they get cleaned up. World keeps spinning. Alrighty then. And I did this, by the way, over a bowl. You can totally just have a colander in the sink, and that's fine too. I'm just going to wipe this up a little bit because the messes do. I just like to clean up. I just like to clean up as I go, It's just kind of one of those things. I did work in food service and with cooks and everything for a very long time, and that's how I learned. And I learned very early on that the clean as you go, that's kind of just the prevailing philosophy, and it's as it should be. All right, so we got our can of diced tomatoes here. This is super easy. These are I think they're like 15-ounce cans. All of these are about the same size can. I got mine at Trader Joe's. I do organic as much as I can, but, whatever you have access to, whatever you can get your hands on is fine. And for the tomatoes, I'm going to start by adding half of the can approximately, because I don't know that I'll want the entire can there, because I will make it a little more watery, but also I like to have a little bit as like garnish in the end, but you'll see how that goes. All right. I'm trying to put this in a way that you guys can see what the hell I'm doing. All right. Now, basil. And I'm going to kind of eyeball this. I personally love basil, and I want a lot of basil in my basil tomato, fucking hummus. So I'm going to start off with like this much. This is like, I don't know, once this is chopped, I'll coarse chop it a little bit. This is, they come in like stalks with like little with the leaves on them. So it's like 3 good sized, like what I would call a stalk, you know. And I'm just going to coarse chop this. Obviously, it's going to be getting blended. Oh, apparently, my cutting board is not leveled anymore. Bummer. So these just go into the top. Now, I'm going light on this, but by all means, you can go heavier on the basil if you like. I just realized I forgot 3 very key ingredients in my intro here that I'm going to grab now, and that is, so we're doing an amended ingredient list. We got salt, pink Himalayan salt, we got black pepper, and we got, this is cumin. Cumin is an important one with hummus. Very important flavor. Less important with a tomato basil hummus because it's tomato and basil and it's going to have its own thing going on. But I do like to maintain those ingredients. Now, tahini. This gives it a little bit of like a earthy, smoky flavor. Also helps with the texture on this stuff. I'm going to do 3 generous tablespoons of the tahini at least. I might even do 4 because it does, I just like what it does to the texture. It's what gives it that kind of like traditionally creamy, not creamy hummus texture. I'm actually going to do 4 tablespoons in here. I'm deciding, right? Between the tahini and the olive oil, that's really where the signature texture will come from. So extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to do probably like, what will end up being the equivalent of like around 1/8 to 1/4 of a cup, something like that, for this amount. I'm going to do a little splash of balsamic vinegar. This will bring out the flavors in the tomato and the basil. Literally just like a couple splashes. Nothing too cray-cray. We got our lime, fresh lime. You can sub out lemon for this if you prefer lemon. That's totally fine. I'm just a lime guy myself. I've always liked lime more. Using my juicer. Juicy, juicy, juicy. And as usual, I'm going to pop this off a couple times and rejuice just to make sure I get every ounce of goodness out of this fucking lime. Take that. You'll like it. Sometimes you gotta talk dirty to your food. You just gotta make sure it knows its place, you know? Your job is to have the shit squeezed out of you. I suppose, really it'd be more, anyway. That almost, my mind was just going in a weird place. I'm just gonna stop myself, actually. But okay, good. So we got our lime in here. Now, garlic. Fresh garlic. And this, you know, traditionally hummus will have garlic in it. That's kind of a common thing. But with the basil and tomato, it almost makes it a little bit more, I mean, it's still Mediterranean, but it almost takes it in like a bit of an Italian direction, you know? Although they definitely, I'm sure, use basil, you know, in the Israeli part of the Mediterranean where this stuff originates from. And I'm going to do 4 cloves for now. Again, you can always add more. And just with the heel of my knife, we got garlic paper all over the place. With the heel of my knife, just give it a little smack. Just to get that skin nice and loosened up. And I'm not going to worry about cutting this off because, again, it's, you know, going into a blender. It's going to get pulverized. So no worries about cutting your garlic up, which is nice because cutting garlic can be a bit of a pain in the butt. Now, hummus is one of those dishes, by the way, that you can kind of play with and do fun stuff with. Like, you know, you can do a roasted red pepper hummus. You know, just take a jar of roasted red peppers and toss that in with some garlic. It would be fantastic. You can do like a straight up black bean hummus, or, you know, straight up, or they do like 2 cans of black bean, 1 can of garbanzo, just to keep it kind of sort of in the direction of traditional. But yeah, you can just play around with the flavors. Like, you can throw some ginger into your hummus, do like a ginger lemon or ginger lime hummus. That would be delicious. All right, so a little bit of salt here. I'm gonna put like 2 teaspoons, something like that. Not too cray-cray, not as much as I do on many other dishes, but yeah, it would be enough salt. Then we got a little pepper, do about a teaspoon of that. Oh, the other thing you can do is if you want to spice it up a little bit, you can throw a little cayenne pepper in there if you like. And that will also give it a nice little dimension and a little kick to it. So now, my cumin, this is kind of a traditional hummus ingredient as well. I'm going to do about 2 teaspoons of that. This is pretty much what we got. You know, this is what we're going to blend. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Mr. Blender Bottom over. Put this guy up here. Make sure we're turned on. And we are. Put on Mr. Lid. And I'm going to pulse a couple times just to get it started, and then we're going to let it blend on high speed. So here we go. All right, let's see how we're doing. That's been blending for about a minute now. And it's coming along nice, actually. Now, this is a pretty high-powered blender. Ideally, again, I would have a food processor. My food processor got broken, so I just used the blender. I'm going to try this, though, see what the flavor's like on it. I am liking that. I think I'm going to do a little more basil, a little more tahini. I'm going to throw like 2 more stalks of basil in there. And another tablespoon of tahini. Maybe 2 tablespoons actually. And maybe you can throw a little more of the tomato in there, come to think of it. I didn't quite get half the can in there, so I'm going to end up putting about 2/3 of that can in there. I think I'm happy with the garlic. A little splash of olive oil too, just to balance out the tahini. So this will end up being closer to like 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup. A little more. 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup of your extra virgin olive oil. All right, we're going to go ahead and blend this some more. I will speed this up and give you some music to entertain you instead of listening to a fucking blender like a boat motor just going because that's annoying. Here we go. See how we're doing? I blended that for like another 30 seconds or so there. That, oh my god, that is looking about right. And that is a killer flavor. Holy shit. I am in love, I think. So now what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to clear my counter off here, so I'm going to spare you watching me do that. I'll be right back once my counter's cleared off. Alright, so we're back. The counter is totally cleaned off. I'm going to actually just show you. Like, look at this stuff. Look at how fucking delicious this looks like. Holy god, this is like the best thing ever. Now, you could do this instead of using 2 cans of garbanzo beans and 1 can of the black beans. You could just use straight garbanzo beans. That's more traditional. Once again, I like the black beans. Gives it a little different flavor, a little different texture. But that's what it's looking like, and oh man, it looks delicious. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pull out my blender blade and just clean it off a bit, because I'm a big fan of not wasting. Oh, look at all that deliciousness. Oh my god. Holy shnikes. I'll even tap. It's got this little hole in the bottom, so I'll tap onto my rubber scraper just to like get as much out of there as I can. It's not perfect. You're going to end up having to, some of it's just not going to come off, so whatever. Now, I got myself a little dish here. So I'm just going to, just put some of this into a bowl for serving. Oh my god, look at that! This is like, I could eat this as a meal too, by the way. Like, it's obviously meant to be more of a dip, like for a snack, but, I've definitely done that before where I've just, I'll eat it as a fucking meal. And then take these are really good, actually pretty healthy. These are grainless cassava and coconut tortilla chips. These are gluten-free. This is really nice with avocado oil, and they have some basic seasoning, but they're very good Trader Joe's brand stuff. Gotta love Trader Joe's. I'm just going to kind of decorate the sides of the plate with this. Hey, flopper. If you want, you can get like blue corn chips to make it a little more colorful if you want, or they have like red and green tortilla chips. And then what I'm going to do here for garnish, do a little bit of tomato, just right in the middle on top. Do a little basil leaf. Oh, so gorgeous. And then, this is my little touch. Tortilla sharp. Bam! There you have it. Incredible tomato basil hummus with cassava, tortilla chips. Incredible, super delicious. In fact, I'm going to have a little bite. Oh, that's so good. And again, super easy. Just throw a bunch of shit in a blender and go. And then you plate it up. Bam! You got a snack for a bunch of people. You got a meal for a couple people if you want. Sky's the limit. And this stuff is healthy. Like, it's actually good for you. None of what's in there is particularly, none of it's bad for you. It's not like when you buy a store-bought hummus, a lot of times there's like soybean oil, or there's a bunch of other flavors and additives or whatever else, and there's so many ingredients for a dish that's supposed to be really fucking simple, I mean, and there you go. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let me know in the comments below how you like this episode. If you try this, let me know how you like the taste of it, how you like the texture, if you dig it. Also, if you do anything else to kind of play around with the hummus and add or subtract, let me know. I would just love to know your ideas and how you play with it. It really is almost an artistic thing. Also, let me know again in the comments below how you like the new theme song, the intro montage. I'm so pumped, and I'm really interested to know if you guys are loving it, if you're hating it. I'm just interested to know, so let me know. And then last thing is down in the description below, there's two things. Number one is the recipe that I just did. I will make sure it's down there. Number two is a list of all the things I used to make this episode, as far as like apparel, gear, audio, video, that kind of shit. Even like the cutting board, the knife I use, all that kind of thing. If you are so inclined to buy into that stuff, I have links below. They are affiliate links for Amazon. I don't, you don't pay any extra to use those, but I will make a little commission if you do. If you happen to be in the market for something, it would be a huge help to me, and it does not cost you anything extra. So I really appreciate if you do that. Again, also make sure you smash the thumbs up, smash the bell icon if you haven't already, and the subscribe button. And guys, until next video, I'm Johnny Farrow. I will see you later. Have a great rest of your week. Mwah.